What's going on, guys? So I got this Hush Batman in yesterday, and I really like the look of it. I think it's the best Batman they've made so far, just stock with no changes. But my only issue, and most people's issues with this guy, is just how tall he is. You can see, compared to like Martian Manhunter, he's like half a head taller, which he shouldn't be. They should be about the same height. And I know a bunch of people have complained about this, and I'm hoping they fix this. I think they have a new Batman body mold with the Nightfall Batman. But I want to try to shorten this guy down a little bit. And what I've seen online, and what I'm going to try to do, is they actually cut a little bit off the bottom of the boot here and raise that ankle, dremel out a little bit and raise that ankle up. I think I'm going to try to do that for this guy. I've worked on different approaches to fixing this before. I've hollowed out the boot and actually scooted the leg further into the boot with a different Batman, and that worked too, but I feel like this will be a quicker and easier process. I won't do any painting, so that'll be a benefit. He doesn't want to stand, that's why I have him on the stand. Just by himself, he falls over almost immediately. We're gonna heat him up though and get these legs off, and I'll mark where I want to cut. I'll have to figure out. I think I'll use some of my fine detail tape to kind of give myself a guideline. I got this guy pulled apart. All you really gotta do is, that's plugged into the body right there. So you just heat it up. Take a butter knife and like bend that back a little bit, and it should just pop loose. You can see the pegs where it's stuck in. It's not that, it's pretty easy. And then I went ahead and popped the feet out. I usually just heat this guy up in some water for like a minute or two. I'm gonna go ahead and do now, since those peg holes are already in the leg, it'll be a good guide for me to go ahead and drill them a little bit further, because I know I'm gonna have to whenever I cut this to get the feet to fit back in there. So I'm just gonna take my drill bit and follow the hole that's already in there and take it a little bit higher up. Okay, make sure you got a nice, fresh, sharp X-Acto blade, and then with the tape on there, I'm just gonna use that side for a guide, and then I'm just gonna cut straight down. A little bit on this side. Okay. Pretty good. But let's see if that ankle fits in there. Well, probably have to reheat that to get the ankle actually down in there. Oh, no, there it goes. Boom. Now that leg is pretty good. Pretty close to where I wanted it. And you can see the difference here from the top. Yeah, that's pretty close. You can see not the straightest cut, but I'm gonna Dremel that out anyways so that ankle peg really sticks in there. So it doesn't have to be perfect. Just get as straight as you can. All right, let me do the other one. So I did end up Dremeling off camera. Every time I've tried to Dremel anything on camera, I mess up. So I did it off camera, but all I really did was take this bit. It's a little bit smaller than the ankle peg, actually. You can see. So I just took it and very slowly went around until I got a big enough hole in there to actually be able to see the top part of that peg in there. So you can see it lines up pretty well. I could go deeper. I'm gonna see if the leg needs to be a little bit shorter before I do that. But at least this still has all the articulation, the front and the back. I'd rather leave it like that, but if it needs to be a little bit shorter, that's a simple, quick fix to do that. I did both of them. They're pretty close to the same height. I think they're almost perfect. We'll see when we put it back on him if one needs to come down a little bit further. So I'm gonna go ahead and heat these up, put them back on him, and then we'll do some size comparison. All right. So I ended up taking the ankles a little bit further. I was comparing his height, and he just was still a little bit taller than everybody. So this one might be a little bit, need to go a little bit higher. But, I mean, he stands, so that's a positive. So let's start with Aquaman here. So they are, Batman's just a little bit taller, but that's okay. It's not as bad as it was. The original comparison with Martian Manhunter. If you do the back of Martian Manhunter's head, it's almost the same. Batman's still a little bit taller. Here's the, I think, year 2 Batman. And it's the same body as the Hush Batman. So you can see how much taller he was before I did the changes. So we can go ahead and compare those. These were about the same height, and now you can see quite a big difference in between the two. So overall, success. And then we'll do, this is my custom Superman. It's the Rebirth Superman with the original Superman's lower legs. So he is very top heavy. That's why I usually have him on this flight stand. But just to compare, they're almost the same height. Batman's eyes are a little bit higher. But yeah, they're really close. So Rebirth Superman will probably be about the same height as this guy. Overall, I think this looks way better on the, it'll look way better on the shelf. The whole calf piece is kind of chunky now because it doesn't taper down to the ankles like it usually does with these other figures. You see how it makes his leg look thinner whenever it goes down, but I mean, it's a boot, so you could chalk it up to that. There's how you shorten up your McFarlane Batman. Hopefully when this Nightfall Batman body, if it is different, comes out, it'll be the right height. But if you wanted a Hush Batman to actually fit in with the other Justice League, this will work out. All right, so thanks for watching. Hope you got something. If anybody in the comments knows where to buy a decent cape for him that matches the color, let me know, because that's next on my list for this guy. I think that's what keeps him from standing up, is that cape is so heavy on the back. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.